Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Great League, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Whimsicott. Whimsicott got an update, and my goodness, I was thoroughly impressed by it. This thing can do some things in the Great League now, which is quite refreshing because I think we need more answers to Lantern in this meta, as well as Medicham to an extent, as well as others like Sableye. And Whimsicott answers all of those extremely well, and it will be serving as the closer on this classic ABB-style team, along with Trevenant on the safe swap. So, I sometimes safe swap Whimsicott, but for those of you who are not yet as confident in your team reading abilities, you can just stick to the strict Trevenant safe swap. It works just fine. But you will see in this video that I often will safe swap Whimsicott as well. Both work, but again, you can just stick strictly to Trevenant if you're not so confident in your team reading. But we all know by now, Trevenant, amazing, very powerful, very strong. And we've also got Obstagoon on the lead. I wanted to have some Steel-type coverage, and Obstagoon checks all the boxes, although you can also use Galarian Stunfisk as well. I like Obstagoon for the Sableye leads. And before we dive into the featured set of the video, gonna start things off with some bonus battles that I thought were a lot of fun. Here we go, Swampert. We have two excellent answers to this in the back, and we go into Whimsicott. They meet us with a Talonflame. So the reason why I went into Whimsicott is because whenever you see a Swampert lead, you always have to assume that there's generally a Sableye safe swap lurking in the back. And I didn't want to get hard countered by a Sableye on my Trevenant. But no, this is far from a Sableye. It's a Talonflame, and we are out of there. They did shield up our Moonblast, likely thinking that it may have been a Hurricane. I don't blame them for that. That would have been an unpleasant surprise. They go Brave Bird. We shield that up successfully. And we did trigger the CMP event, so this will do a lot of damage, and they let it go. That is amazing. We can now counter down this Talonflame before they make it to another move, and we leave relatively unscathed. We come in with Trevenant, and they've got a Stunfisk in the back, so they're somewhat ABA weak to a Trevenant. Not completely, but basically works out the same because we're going for the Shadow Ball. They let that go. And now all we need to do is make it to 2 Seed Bombs. The Shadow Claws plus the Seed Bombs will do the trick. They go EQ here, does not matter. That's resisted, not going to cut it. I think generally you just want to go double Rock Slide. I think that's the way to go. It does enough damage in the Great League on Trevenant. But we do go for our first Seed Bomb, and we grab their final shield. That is amazing. Because they shielded that, we will Shadow Claw them down before they can make it to a Rock Slide. And they realized that we were going to have a Seed Bomb locked and loaded for that Swampert, and it would have been lights out. Good game, well played. I'm telling you guys, Whimsicott was the real deal. I was thoroughly impressed. And here we go. Stunfisk lead. This is, again, why I like Obstagoon on the lead. Not only for the Sableye leads, but if you run Stunfisk, which you can, that is absolutely fine. And you can do that if you're more comfortable than rolling with Obstagoon. You get trapped in these 50-50 mirror matchups, which I absolutely hate, and you often force them to swap. We're going to let this EQ go, and there you go. They're swapping into a Sableye onto our Obstagoon. Yeah, that's why Obstagoon is very underrated in the Great League. But we're going to save our Obstagoon because we can do super effective damage to that Stunfisk, and we successfully call the bait. I know Sableye trainers just can't help themselves but to throw a bait. Imagine if they actually threw the return. They would have flipped switch, but they didn't, so here we are, shielding up a foul play. We want to really put the pressure on this Sableye here. They're going to have to shield at this point. This Grass Knot hits like a truck because Whimsicott hits super hard and can tank some damage. It's not as squishy as you would think. And at this point, I do believe we let this go. We're not going to give up all of our shields to take out the Sableye. We can come back in with our Obstagoon, no problem, because we know that Trevenant up a shield beats just about everything in the entire meta. So, gonna throw this Night Slash here, and they are over farming. They are well past a foul play, which would KO from this range, but we're just gonna get rid of it. We're saying bye-bye to the Sableye. And they've got a Pelipper. Okay, so Trevenant's got some heavy lifting to do. It's going to require us calling a potential bait, and they catch our Shadow Ball on the Stunfisk. This is absolutely fine. We needed to get rid of that thing anyways. So now the Stunfisk is out of the way, and here we go. The moment of truth. We have to call this bait, guys, and we call it successfully. Oh, you absolutely love to see it. Now the question is, can we get to a Shadow Ball before they can farm us down with super effective wing attacks? We are just a few off, and we get there. Holy smokes, Trevenant's so clutch in the Great League. We get to this, and we're saying bye-bye to the Pelipper, and just like that, Trevenant has come in clutch, hanging on by a thread, closing out the end game. You love to see it. Good game, well played. Oh, I had a lot of fun with this classic ABB line, and here we go. This is why we lead with Obstagoon for all these Sableye leads. A lot more people are leading Sableye this season, which I find very interesting because there are not that many changes. Noctowl is still a thing at the end of the day, but I digress. We go for this Night Slash here, and they're staying in for some reason. We get that patented Obstagoon boost, and we're going to let this, or no, we're going to shield. We did let through some returns, and you can tank a return, no problem, but decided to preserve some health on Obstagoon here, as Sableye can often have a steel type in the back, and having a healthy Obstagoon could come in handy. They safe swap in a Lantern, and we had just the answer. In fact, we have two amazing answers to Lantern, which I think is another great reason why Whimsicott got that buff. Definitely need more answers than Trevenant and Venusaur to a Lantern. And we are just tanking all this intentionally, guys. We are intentionally allowing ourselves to get low because we don't want to give that Sableye too much extra farm. Because if you give Sableye an inch, it will absolutely 100% take a mile. So all we need to really do is just pressure with Seed Bombs. We go for the first one, and I was really hoping I could get to that second one, but just could not quite get there. And that is fine. We do have Obstagoon for this. And they've got, there it is. That's why we decided to preserve health. So if you run this team with this variation with Obstagoon, you'll definitely want to preserve some health if you're met with a Sableye lead, because they almost always have at least one steel type, usually in the form of Registeel. And that is what we are seeing right here. We are now drawing shields. Tried to catch that whatever it is, it would be resisted. I was thinking Focus Blast, but they go Zap Cannon, they bait us, that's fine. No attack drop, so that means we can stay right here. We can get off this Cross Chop, and because our attack did not drop, it won't KO, but we will be able to counter down, no problem. And we may have been able to counter down either way. But we're just going to flex on him a little bit, make an unnecessary catch, because why not? We knew we could. Actually, I think, yeah, maybe a return would have gotten us quite low, but I think they are just a little bit demoralized. It was lights out for them. There was nothing that poor Sableye could do. Good game, well played to our opponent. Oh, the dynamics of this ABB style team was working to perfection. And here we go. The Nightmare lead, Medicham. This is why we've got two anti-fighters in the back. We've got a Fairy type and a Ghost type for these Medicham leads here. And they're staying in for some reason, likely wanting to chip and dip, I would presume. But no, they don't dip. They just tried the chip, and they are still here on this terrible counter swap. So that's fine. We want to get rid of this thing anyways, and they are shielding. That means they are super weak to a Whimsicott in the back. That means we have to play out the 2-shield here. We really need to get rid of this Medicham. It cannot have any sort of modicum of health. It has to be gone. Obstagoon can do nothing to Medicham. So we are just baiting with Grass Knots. It would still do quite a bit, and I think they may know that a Moonblast would one-shot, especially from this health range. They are now in the yellow, and we are going for yet another Grass Knot. Doesn't KO, so we're catching the next Ice Punch back onto Obstagoon. Would much rather catch it on Obstagoon than have to tank it on one of our grass types, and the Medicham is just about done. It is done, actually. And they've got an Altaria in the back, so this is what was avoiding our Whimsicott. Altaria definitely doesn't want to see Whimsicott, particularly when shields are up. In the zeros, Altaria does quite well. And that is because it can hit those super effective sky attacks. And speaking of, that's what they're going for now, and we are just going to chip as much as we can. It's getting a little sweaty because shields are down. Gonna just chip with this next night slash here, and we do get the boost, but it will not help because we were low health. And now we've got some decisions to make here. Oh, this is getting sweaty. We throw Whimsicott in to just soak this damage and put the hope and faith in the Trevenant. We don't know what they could have in the back. If it's double flyers, so be it. It's lights out. So we're just going to throw this Seed Bomb. It is double resisted, but we all know Trevenant hits like a truck. That's more than enough to take it out. And what do they have? Oh, they have got another Trevenant of their own. Thank goodness we overfarmed. This is why you always want to overfarm as much as you can, because we're saying bye-bye to that opposing Trevenant. And just like that, yet again, Trevenant has done what it does best, and that is close the game strong. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Had a blast with those bonus battles, but we now move into the featured set of the video, and here we go. Another Nightmare lead, Azumarill going into Whimsicott, because Azumarill usually has a Sableye in the back and another grass type, but no, not this time. They've got a steel type, the worst steel type if you are a grass type, and that is Skarmory. But look at how much damage that Moonblast does, guys. I'm telling you, Whimsicott is the real deal. That did a lot of damage on a bulky steel type, and we're going for yet another one. I don't anticipate that they would shield this because they can tank it, but look at the work that Whimsicott is putting in. This is insane, guys, and they do get the attack drop, which is allowing us to get to a Grass Knot. We are forcing a shield from a Skarmory. Do you believe that? That's insanity, guys. That's the power of Whimsicott, the newly buffed Whimsicott in the Great League. You'll love to see it. We tank whatever this is. It's just the Sky Attack bait, and that counter did register. And now they are absolutely core broken by Trevenant. My goodness, I'm telling you, this team was putting in the work. Azumarill and Deoxys could do nothing to Trevenant up a shield. Good game, well played. Oh, Whimsicott on this ABB style team was really putting in the work. And here we go. Another Stunfisk lead. You'd love to see it if you're Obstagoon. You also love to see a safe swap like this. They are core broken by Obstagoon. Again, Obstagoon underrated in the Great League. Not enough people use this thing. I really don't know why. And we're actually going to stay in here a little bit, really put the pressure on. Both of our grass types perform quite well against Stunfisk, so we're not too worried about that. We don't want to risk this Sableye finding its way to our Trevenant, so we're going to throw Whimsicott in here and go for an aggressive farm down. We're going to shield up the return. That's an amazing shield. Could have been a bait, but I was reading they were going to throw that return, and we do just about get the farm down. This is only a foul play. It is resisted. Does a little bit more damage than you'd like to see, but not that much. We're still in the yellow, and they do come back in with the Stunfisk, and that farm down is going to absolutely pay off because these neutral grass knots with stab really chunk Stunfisk considering how bulky it is, and we are already at another one. Whimsicott so spammy. Fairy Wind was amazing for Whimsicott, and they do tank that. We can't farm down. We would have to throw another move. We do live a Rock Slide from this range. Not well, but we do. We're hoping we can survive long enough to get to it. We just cannot. My guess is that that is a very attack-rated Stunfisk. I think if it's a PvP optimized, we make it to that Grass Knot. But it doesn't matter because we are staring at a Medicham. Oh, you love to see it. If you got Trevenant lurking in the back, Medicham can do nothing to Trevenant, even down a shield, guys. We can just go straight Seed Bomb. These Shadow Claws with stab hitting for super effective are absolutely shredding this Medicham here. And the Seed Bombs with stab hit like a truck as well. They are at back-to-back moves, but we tank one of whatever Medicham throws. It's an Ice Punch. We will not tank a second, so we will shield the second one. And they do have some residual energy. So what we're going to do is shield this next Ice Punch up and look to play to the CMP tie. And there we have it. We do throw on the CMP just as they are queuing up their next Ice Punch. They will never get to it. We're saying bye-bye to the Medicham. And Trevenant's about to sweep yet another endgame. Trevenant is an absolute monster, I'm telling you guys. We get to this Seed Bomb and we are saying bye-bye to the G-Fisk. And Trevenant coming in clutch yet again, sweeping yet another endgame. There's nothing better. Good game, well played. Had a lot of fun, more fun than I've had in a long time with this team in the Great League for reasons like this, guys. Again, this is why we run Obstagoon on the lead for these Sableye leads here. Gotta go for the Night Slash. All you do is go straight Night Slash up against these Sableyes, and they really do add up. They do hit for neutral, but they add up. And I do believe this is the battle where we actually tank the return, because like I said, we can tank it. But generally on those Sableye leads, you want to save some health for reasons like this. They aggro swap into a Skarmory, so this is not what you want to see if you've got two grass types in the back, but we get the Obstagoon boost and we make it to another Night Slash. So now at this point, it's getting a little dicey here. Gonna throw this Night Slash and we pressure a shield, so now it's Trevenant time. Not sure what else they could have in the back. We see one Steel type here. There could absolutely be another one, who knows. We absolutely have to shield up that Sky Attack there, and we are gonna go for the Shadow Ball here. On optimal timing, you really don't want to give Skarmory any more energy than necessary. And they shield, so that is very interesting to see. I wonder what they could have in the back. Maybe a Swampert, I don't know. Something that doesn't want to see a Trevenant, I will say. There's no reason to shield a low health Skarmory like that. But they do aggro swap back into the Sableye. That's fine. We had loaded energy. We are taking out the Sableye. Just about one Shadow Claw does the trick. And now let's see. What didn't want to see the Trevenant? Come on. They are thinking long and hard. Holy smokes. Bring it out. Let's see it. Oh, they come back in with the Skarmory. Yeah, they're weak in the back, guys. So we're going to take out the Skarmory. We do have a very healthy Whimsicott. It has yet to see the field. We do take out the Skarmory, and there it is. That's what didn't want to see Trevenant. So now it is all up to Whimsicott to put in work against one of the bulkiest Steel types in the meta. The glimmer of hope here is that we resist its conventional charge move pool. Gonna go for this Moonblast. It is resisted, but guys, we all know Whimsicott hits like a truck. That does a lot of resisted damage to a bulky Pokemon. That's insane, guys. This is why Whimsicott is the real deal. We get to another Moonblast, and an attack drop would be nice, but we do get this off nonetheless. No attack drop, that is okay. They're gonna have to throw. They cannot farm us down. Whimsicott threatening to take out the Registeel, forcing it to throw energy. You'd love to see it. So now getting a little tricky here. I do believe we will make it to a cross chop. And I was in a mood today, so we make yet another unnecessary catch. I don't know. I was in the mood to flex today, guys. I don't know. Sometimes you just get in those moods, and we do have the cross chop here. Had to show off a little bit, flex on him a little bit. We say bye-bye to the Registeel, and Obstagoon closes the game, hanging on by a thread. You love to see it. Good game, well played. For those of you who are still on the fence, unsure about Whimsicott, I'm here to tell you it's the real deal, and here we go. Nightmare lead, Shadow Granbull. You don't want to see that if you're running Obstagoon. So we go into Trevenant, and those charms are absolutely chunking, and here we go. Those of you itching to get in those comments and say, oh, what about Scrafty? What do you do with Scrafty? Here you are, guys. I'm about to show you what you do to Scrafty. You go for these seed bombs just as fast as you get to them. That's what you do. And slowly but surely, they will absolutely chip away. We've got the Scrafty into the red. No need to shield anything. And this is just a power punch. That's not going to cut it. We're going to make it to another seed bomb in time. And now they are forced with a decision here. They're going to have to either shield. Yeah, they do shield. So now we have a shield advantage. That's the power of Trevenant. So this is what you do. This is what about Scrafty. This is what you do. You pressure it with seed bombs. And you will put in the work. So now this Scrafty is quite low. I'm thinking we come in here with Whimsicott and we farm it down with double super effective Fairy Winds. They don't hit for much, but the Scrafty is gone. So now fully expecting the Granbull to come back in, maybe. We are up a shield, but no, they come in with a Charge Beam Lantern. Okay, this is not what you want to come in with, but that's fine. Gonna look to go for this Grass Knot. It does big damage to the Lantern, and they aggro swap just as we do. Wanted to come back in with Obstagoon to draw back out that Granbull to get as much chip damage in as we can. Going for this Night Slash and grabbing a shield from the Granbull. We now have 2 shields for Whimsicott. I think we can pull this off. We're going to shield up whatever this is. It's all resisted, but it doesn't matter. We can't let those shadow charms with stab add up on us too much here. We are not going to even try to farm this thing down. Just going to get rid of it because we know that we can outpace this Lantern, and we do still have a shield. We take out the Granbull, and this is looking like nighty-night. Sleep tight for the Charge Beam Lantern. all we have to do is shield up whatever it is. This is a massive thunder. Doesn't matter. We still had a shield, and we have the grass knot locked and loaded. I'm telling you, Whimsicott puts in the work, closing out the game. We say bye-bye to the lantern, and Whimsicott comes in clutch yet again. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Oh, I was pleasantly surprised with how much work this team was putting in. For reasons like this, we're picking up a positive lead. We've got a Dunsparce here. This is absolutely fine, expecting them to aggro swap, and they make a play into a Jumpluff. So this is not something you see every day. So we're going to just chip with a Night Slash. This kind of threw me off. Not going to lie, guys. I was like, okay, what do I do here? So yeah, this team does have its weaknesses. It's quite effective, but if you run into a double flyer team, it's a little rough, not gonna lie. It also did struggle a bit up against the Altaria leads. But here we are. We throw the Shadow Ball, and they are gonna make it to another move. I do believe Acrobatics would one-shot, so we're forced to double shield to get rid of this Jumpluff here. Not ideal. We're down 2 shields, and they've got a Noctowl in the back, so not looking good. Not looking great for us. This is not the best team comp, let's just say. Double flyers. Yeah, like I said, double flyers is a little rough. If you can catch the Noctowl on the lead, it's a lot better for you. You can work with that, but if they got a Noctowl lurking in the back, let alone one Noctowl, if they've got another flyer in addition to Noctowl, it's pretty rough, not gonna lie. So yeah, this is not trending in the right direction, let's just say. Gonna just chip and pressure as much as we can with these Night Slashes. They do add up, but yeah, Noctowl, even at this health range, is still absolutely lethal. The Sky Attack will not KO, but we will not make it to another move in time. Gonna try and get off this cross chop. Can't quite get there. That is unfortunate. That would have been nice. Would have been helpful if we could have gotten to that, but yeah, just not meant to be. We throw Trevenant in here, hoping that we can maybe grab shields, but yeah, this is not trending in the right direction. They're gonna Rock Slide here. Just about KOs, and we do make it to the grass knot, so that is good, but we need a lot more than this to have any hope. This thing is quite tanky and quite spammy. Gonna go for the grass knot here. We don't really need to go Moonblast. We really need to get shields down. But yeah, we're trying our best. We should probably just be top lefting at this point. There's no hope here. This is going to chip us, and that Noctowl will absolutely make it to a Sky Attack. It still has a shield. They're going to mercifully put us out of our misery here. Should have top lefted a long time ago, and they do take us out, so couldn't quite get that one done. You can't win them all. Good game, well played to our opponent, and that is the team, my friends. I'm telling you, this team really put in the work. I had a lot of fun with it. If it's double flyers, it's a bit brutal. If you can catch a Noctowl on the lead, it's doable. The team did, I will admit, the team did struggle up against Altaria leads. I just found that as a bit of a challenge. The best you can do is chip with a Night Slash, tank their Sky Attack, and come in with Trevenant and try and take out the Altaria. But other than that, guys, this team put in the work. I had a blast with it. I also had a blast with this video. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.